Welcome, folks, back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. On our last installment, we finally fixed up Case 3 like we needed to fix it up. And this time, we are going into some dark, and I do mean dark, history. As we take on the fourth case, which is somewhat like the first case in the first couple of parts of this Let's Play. So with this, we are going to proceed into the next case, which is called Turnabout Beginnings. So with that, chapter start! The girl. Let her go! Shut up! Come closer, and I kill her! Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Name Terry Falls. Charge kidnapping. Murder. Sentence death penalty. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eel Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. "6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. February 16th, 9:24 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 4. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning! Don't be so jumpy, man.
I didn't do nothing, I swear! I didn't kill nobody!
Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago and now a prison escapee. Oh, he's a real looker, alright. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why'd you escape anyway?
I'm sorry! I didn't do nothing, I ain't kill nobody!
Dude, we need to get you some food.
I never lied! I didn't escape from nowhere!
But, Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago.
Sorry. I told a little lie.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, I didn't do it! I never killed nobody!
Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right?
I'm really sorry! They sentenced me to die. 5 years! But I was tricked, I tell you! That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear, I didn't kill her! I can never do that!
2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman?
Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped.
So that much is true. He did meet with the victim.
But I didn't kill her! She was alive when I left. She was alive! It's true!
I can trust him, right? I mean, I should.
Huh.
You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy.
You're... Why are you here?
I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where's Mr. Grossberg? That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego
Armando!
I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine an escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax. I just heard some good news. I just saved some money on my car insurance by switching over to Geico. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned a reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, however deep it sounded, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth.
February 16th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Teddy Foles.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
I understand the lawyers for both sides and newcomers.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor.
So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about here? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite a young age. An early age.
At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet. Come on, Mia, you can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon, is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So, we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death? You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. I remember well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness testimony. A witness testimony? The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful currents. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So that explains how Mega Man actually died. Capcom threw him off that very bridge. Body was never found again. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be exactly the victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Oh, I see. The man was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago. There's only one thing on his mind: to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now! Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Well, wait a minute, that's not right! At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Yeah, you're gonna have to forgive me. My voice is still not up to par with female voices. Doing the best I can, though. Watch yourself, Miss Fey. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. What are you? You're even younger than me, you hypocrite! Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe! Dick Gumshoe! I'm the homicide detective in charge of this case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am! You got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me. He's talking about your tits, Mia, my dear. No, seriously, my heart, it's achy for you. Get in line, Gumshoe, get in line. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Ugh. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I got you. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge and an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle Bridge. Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the victim carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. So we get the Dusky Bridge map. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we've prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you, wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Detective, please proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, King. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me, and get ready.
Summary of the incident.
On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright? Especially for a beginner. I don't need you worrying about me. I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. You got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all night last night watching. Well, time to start pressing. This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top secret memo that she left on her desk. So we get the note. According to this note, it seems the one who called her. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of this fact now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. Is that Detective Falls? He's the one who said, unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it. I just said that way because the prosecutor told me to. What's that? A trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Let's press that too. Bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it was a very important place to the defendant, that's why.
What do you mean by that?
If you remember 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls.
Returning to the scene of crime, how nostalgic.
Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great! We even get to say, "Don't move, we got you surrounded!" Wait a second, isn't there something weird about that?
The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains.
So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right?
If that's what they had in mind, then she wouldn't have been killed.
She never mentioned a phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I hadn't noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone.
It's a lot of pressing here, mind you.
Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Half-heaves. I'm not sure how you feel about cars. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there.
Oh, that doesn't look too comfortable.
But we get the crime photo. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah.
For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Amen, brother.
We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm.
The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car?
Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Anyway. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am.
I didn't do it! I didn't do nothing!
That's all he says.
Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car.
That's just what he always says, Your Honor, and then he always says, sorry, I told a lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. If you say so. Well, let's go back a bit, shall we? I'd like to present something. I'd like to say to that witness!
They all shit a brick.
What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Fey? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. It's the first time I've ever actually had to address someone like that.
You should have practiced before coming to court.
Honestly, Miss Fey, I'm not sure I like this. Say that kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia. Shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective! Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well, then I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. A note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like, thus the special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there, and you should have looked for it! The caller told her to identify herself, so I expect she did just that. Well, Miss Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching so desperately for, is it the one perchance? Well, where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why do you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hot shot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's clear enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth is intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. So we get the scarf. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fey? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around this smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. Sounds quite promising. Can't wait to hear all about it. I think it's moving at its whim. Don't forget, kitten. There's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. Genius, huh?
Events on Dusky Bridge.
Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. Shows her wearing a scarf, sir. It's drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her behind the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off.
Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that the bridge is very high up. It is about a 40 feet drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this picture anyway? Let's just say that was a well-intentioned third party. Aha! Potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom?
Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify.
The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel her to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So we get the witness photo. As you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge.
Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now!
We're playing FSR again?
Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty.
Not again! That's not fair! I haven't even done my cross-examination yet! What do you mean, It's obvious. The judge is not fond of women lawyers. That's what we call in the business sexual discrimination.
Actually, there's an eyewitness.
Let's see. In this case, let's do this. Who's this witness?
She's a college student.
Female college student.
That's right, meaning she's female. And as a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her.
Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have a right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness statements. That's all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. Female college student, eh?
It means she's female and a college student, sir.
If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. In this case, let's press this statement. Is that part of the witness testimony as well?
Of course it is. Pushed the victim hard in the back, and she fell down right on her stomach.
Then he proceeded to do the nasty on her. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? But doesn't mean that you pushed someone down like that once. If his mind-boggling tales of, and the way he said, brutal. I wonder if he's Canadian. This guy is not Newfie Bongo, okay? This guy is not Newfie Bongo. Huh. Save your nasty look for the right person. Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet it, sir.
Hey, watch where you spill your coffee!
Court record, Well, there's one thing I need to show. It's this. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Flick. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in a car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the condition that day? Well, I would say this. The front of her trench coat. Look at that. Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat. As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Remember the testimony? What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud.
That's exactly right.
The other day, I fell on a muddy street, and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If your honor had fallen into the shower instead of on a muddy street, his glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Flick. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. Ta-da! The evidence is this scarf. Oh! It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud.
Does it? No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo.
Hey, same to you, buddy.
Them's fighting words, Edgeworth. Them's fighting words. Miss Fey's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright, not like he's really giving me a choice here. You're doing pretty good for a little kid.
you.
No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness testimony that she stated, or the witness testimony that she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. Pretty simple, isn't it? False evidence. It's one of those three.
What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that.
That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it.
This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know.
Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip the false evidence into the court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is.
Yes. The false evidence in the case was
the testimony. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen?
Yeah, that's what the victim told us.
Flick. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true. It's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well.
Well, Miss Edgeworth,
It appears that we need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. Sit, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation?
gentlemen!
Shit. Everyone's so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter.
Gentlemen!
And I say this proudly.
Gentlemen!
Oh, when I look at you, how can I put it? If I could say this in a straight face. You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite.
Well, damn, Judge!
Hey, not so fast!
Shit, a brick.
As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true genteel man. Miss Fey, you can learn a lot from this man! If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me.
Oh, sir.
Yes, my dear?
This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause.
No, not at all! It's no trouble at all! Now then, may we please have your name and occupation?
My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department.
You were on the scene and the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate?
How can you be so mean?
Now see here! What are you doing? Shoving that in her face like that?
But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous.
Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. I don't like the turns it's taken. This girl has just suddenly gave me the twitches. Is she staring at me?
And you would be?
I'm the defense lawyer. My name's Mia Fey.
I see. So you are.
Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best.
The witness photograph.
Yeah. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. And then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I heard it and took the photo out that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police.
By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred?
I believe the map would be of help here.
I'm standing right over here. I'm standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs.
So you took the photo from that location, eh?
I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to.
Oh, what a cute camera. Just like its owner. So we get the camera added. Alright then, Miss Fey, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Righto. We go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why did you take a photo?
Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I was wanting to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over.
Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even though I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams, I still use my grandsons to test my comedy routines on. So you wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this.
All I could do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police.
Just like that, huh?
You call the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape.
We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we already had started the operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh?
If Terry Falls isn't a criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony.
Be careful, kitten. That girl has the drudge wrapped around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony, Bess.
You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia.
Oh. In the case of this, I was going to say,
Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why have you presented a photo like that? Well, you see,
the photo we presented was the only one there was.
But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it!
He's Homer Simpson now. My apologies, young lady. But Miss Fey is not without a certain amount of merit.
You can certainly downplay a situation, can you? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean.
You ran out of film?
Yeah, this photo was the last one.
What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All of the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers.
The witness herself? And who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself?
I remember taking some photos of myself once too.
Please, no details.
It seems that Miss Fey's assertion was not so decisive after all.
Well, wait! Just a minute!
Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet.
Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed.
Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is it's really a sucker for sweet talk.
Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention.
Yeah, it's sickening.
Here's the kicker right here.
The victim turned around and tried to run away, but She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back.
Kinda awkward, isn't it?
The victim, why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal.
This was a large, powerful man with a knife, and it's not even Cody. If it had been a quiet woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quiet? What you? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river.
There's still something wrong with this testimony.
We press that too.
So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's just a narrow pitch and he'll swing back and forth. Yes, me and both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I had done something to help her.
Seems to make sense.
I wonder about that. But it seems kind of off.
If a good sixth sense, when you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why.
Terry Falls is the criminal. Then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony.
Be careful, kid. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony, Fizz.
You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia.
Well, in that case, there's something we must present here. And that something happens to be the map.
Witness, your testimony is a joke. What? But I just...
Miss Fey! I thought I warned you to... I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry!
Flick. One short testimony and two back contradictions. There's no possible excuse.
You say there were two contradictions?
Juicy contradictions. It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around, tried to run, well then,
she would have hit a dead end.
You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. Ah!
What does all this mean?
It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it.
This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean?
There's one major mistake in this diagram. What'd you say?
What are you referring to?
It's all because of this diagram. It was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it.
So you're saying...
I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! You can't actually tell the condition of this bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I present the evidence.
That guy is good.
What do you mean?
He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright? That diagram on the bridge was his insurance policy.
What? That coward!
Well, Miss Fey, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
No, it wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial?
There's so much less, with really so much left. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break. And next part, we're going to hear more from Melissa Foster when Let's Play Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulation continue right after this.